Welcome back to the channel. This is DeadMf. We are back again in the prison called life. We are back again, man, in the prison called life. Now, somebody asked me to make a video on overcoming your addictions. Is it his or I don't know, whoever else's, but somebody made a comment or a suggestion asking me to do a video about overcoming your addictions. So here I am. You're welcome. I've made a video about addictions before, but not really about overcoming them, you know. But I guess I understand why, I've never really been one to generally tell people what's good or what's bad for them. I just let people be. But obviously addiction, especially if you've had a family member or if you yourself have been through an addiction, you absolutely know how horrible that is. I can say for myself that I've really been addicted to something, maybe just obsessed, but addiction is a different place, because you go through a very dark place, It's a different kind of hell where the thing that you addicted to, you cannot really survive without it. Like you start your day and that's the only thing that occupies your mind. Throughout the day, that's the only thing that occupies your mind. When you go to sleep, that's the only thing that occupies your mind. It really takes over your whole life. And obviously, there are many addictions. So I'm assuming maybe drugs, if not drugs, gambling. If not gambling, an alcohol addiction. But I'll just assume it's drugs because that's typically what people think of when we talk about addictions, or maybe a porn addiction. Many people have that, but they don't want to really talk about it because it's a bit embarrassing, admitting that you jack you jack yourself off like 5 times, 6 times a day. That's horrible to admit to. But nothing to joke about. Just because I'm laughing doesn't mean I'm not taking the subject seriously. But yeah, man, that's the case. I mean, when it comes to addictions, I think the only way you can really quit an addiction is if you hit rock bottom. That's the only way you ever going to quit an addiction. You have to hit rock bottom. That's the only way. And when I mean by rock bottom is that the addiction has to take absolutely everything in your life, all your relationships, your job, your everything, Everybody has to absolutely hate you because of your addiction. That's the only way you're going to overcome it. You have to really look at that addiction that you have and realize that this is the devil. I must quit this. Because if that doesn't happen, you're not going to quit it. Unfortunately, people learn the hard way. People learn the hard way. And I'm telling you now, man, if your addiction doesn't make you hit rock bottom, there's no way you're going to quit it. If your addiction doesn't take you into a very scary, dark place where you realize that, okay, man, I think I'm all alone, there's no way you're going to quit it, There's no way you're going to quit it. And I understand, it's a tough life. It's really a tough life. There are many reasons why one can find themselves addicted to something. It's mostly used as a means to escape, There might be traumas that people are going through, then you realize, man, I can't do this alone, There might be like just overall terrible things that one can go through and you realize that there's something that has to help me. Otherwise, I'm not going to survive this. I'm just not. So then you take your first hit, you take your first hit of whatever, you feel good, You take another hit, you continue to feel good, you're high in the clouds, then you realize that, you know, I'm really addressing something important here, and these things, man, they're just making noise. These freaking birds. And it just takes you above the clouds where you're like, okay, man, like, these birds, man. That's what you get for making videos in the freaking wild, you know. But yeah, man, you just get addicted to that high. You just get addicted to that feeling that you're freaking invincible. Nobody can do anything to you, you know. But then the high subsides, back to reality, back to the traumas that you're trying to run away from. What are you really gonna do? You know, you have to take another hit. And this becomes a vicious cycle, you know, all because you cannot really confront what's really damaging you on the inside, the problem that makes you want to escape reality. It's all because you cannot face that. So you go to the drugs, you go to the alcohol, you know, you turn to many things that makes you want to escape, that enables you to escape, but only for that second. But then again, once you're sober, where are we? Back to the bottom. We gotta get high again. That continues until you find yourself homeless, until you find yourself absolutely ruined with no one around you. That's the only way you're going to overcome your addiction, until it absolutely ruins you. Even then, you know, some people, even then, they still cannot escape it. They find themselves in the outskirts of town, fucking digging through trash. They still cannot escape it. And I just think, you know, that's really the lowest of the lowest a person can go. But, you know, you have to ask yourself, do I really want to hit rock bottom before I can escape this addiction? You know? First of all, you have to find out what makes you turn to the drugs. Is it the childhood trauma? You know, you fix the childhood trauma. You ask yourself questions. What actually happened here? You analyze, you assess yourself, you know. I guess once you're able to find out what's causing all the trauma that makes you turn to the drugs, some people, they just addicted because it was because of fun, you know. They just like having fun. That's also a way to escape. Why do you like having fun so much? You know? Yeah, I mean, you gotta understand that bottom will always be there, you know. It's life. People get bored from time to time, but if you always wanna be having fun, that's really a problem. You know, there's really a problem. What makes you want to have fun all the time? That, you know, you're willing to do drugs and all of that, you know. So definitely insecurities. There's something wrong in your psyche that makes you want to continuously indulge in that particular substance or whatever substances that you're dealing with. So it's a tough life, man. It's a tough life. Unfortunately, you know, people are just not wise enough to understand where the road might lead to. And when you wake up, it's too late. You're already in too deep. The devil has got you, you know, drowning. You can't really escape. But then once you truly hit rock bottom and you realize that I'm screwed, I have to get the hell out of here, that's the only way you're going to beat your addiction. Once you really associate it as something that is completely evil and it completely ruined your life, that's the only way you're going to say, I beat my addiction, or I'm going to beat my addiction. That's the only way, man. Other than that, you know, you just have to say good luck, and you know, we hope you keep trying, for fuck's sakes. This is DeadMf, and I'm signing out.